And welcome back, friends. My name is Eric. This is Mellowseven Gaming, and today we're playing some Rimworld Beta 18. We are back in the world of Binary, our robot android playthrough. And as you can see, things are moving a little quicker than usual. I'm going to try things just a little bit different than I normally do, and we're going to start by moving my face over here. How about right on top of the bar there? I think that kind of works there. We'll see how that goes. So I'm always experimenting. I'm always trying new things. I wasn't happy with the way last week went doing the Twitch stream stuff. It felt a little unnatural. It didn't feel right. I wasn't happy with it, essentially. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Just not happy with it. So what I've decided to try is we are going to attempt to record a little bit more than usual and then speed bits of it up. Right? That's the idea. So the voice won't be happening live as I play. It's going to be essentially after the fact commentary. So what I've done today is I played for about an hour. I recorded that whole playthrough. I've gone into Premiere and I've chopped that all up into pieces. So we have pieces that are going to play at regular speed, for instance, raids and big issues like that. And we have bits like this where we're just building stuff. And we'd like to see it. We'd like to see the progression. We want to know how things are going. But at the same time, we don't need it to go as slow as usual. So today what I did was I recorded that hour. I went back in. I cut out the raids and stuff. They're going to play at regular speed. And then the rest of the game is playing at about 500% speed. Now, my 1 hour of play actually got me a little extra today. So in this case, I won't have to play quite as much next time. My goal is to put out a 25-minute video, plus or minus a little bit. I'd like to get the videos a little bit shorter. 30 minutes is a touch long for people to sit through. And so our goal is to produce a 25-minute video. I'm not sure how many days a week yet. We'll see how it takes. Right now, it obviously takes me an hour to record the video. It takes me a little while to edit the video. And then obviously it's going to take at least 25 minutes to sit down and watch through and do the commentary. So we're probably talking somewhere around 2 hours to produce a 25-minute video. Now, that's not terrible per se, but, I do work 60 plus hours a week on my other two jobs. So we'll see how this goes. If I get 4 and potentially 5, but I want to aim for 4 first, good 25-minute videos, I'll be happy. If I can get a 5th one, if we can find time for that, that will be ecstatic, because that's what we've been doing in the past. And the idea of doing the Twitch stream was it just saved things. We recorded live as a Twitch stream. Editing is really minimal. It takes about 5 minutes, per episode. Probably, obviously, the computer takes time to render it, and then it takes time to upload it. But as far as my kind of have to pay attention time, probably about 5 minutes per episode. Maybe a couple more minutes to do the YouTube stuff when it uploads, but not terrible. So it was going to be quick, and we'd be able to produce 5 or 6 videos without any trouble. But I just wasn't happy with the way the process went. So this is what we're going to do. So far, we've just been continually working on building our place. As we come up with additional steel, we rocket it over, and we're continuing to build up. So to be honest, I haven't been paying as much attention as I probably should. You can see we have gone ahead and unforbidden one of the geothermal plants. So we will start to build one of those at some point when we have enough materials. Steel still is the issue. We pretty much drained the other colony dry with about 3 rockets at this point to get the stuff over. And part of that is because not only are we having to build our bridges and all that other goods, and boardwalks and stuff, the heavy ones, out of steel, but we're also trying to put in some more electrical cable to get that going as well. As you can see, I dropped down there. Now, at some point in this video, I do realize that they have changed the way the bridges and the boardwalks are built, and you no longer have to build them out of steel. So at a certain point, we're going to start to build these out of limestone, which will make our life so much easier. But for now, I haven't noticed that, and we're still building them with steel, which is when the mod came out, everything had to be steel, which was kind of a pain in the butt. And as you know, we've been really fighting that to get our bridges and stuff built for our walls out there. But I think all things are, for the most part, things are going okay. We got a mad animal there. Go out, take care of that. And it's just kind of business as usual for it, right until now. And now, as you can see, everything slows down. So we got a group of mechanoids that are attacking our new base. We need to come up with binary 2, we'll call it. Well, it can't be binary 2. Binary 0, 1. Binary 0, 0 and binary 0, 1, right? Those have to be our first 2 villages. So here in binary 0, 1, we have to figure out how we're going to do this. Now, we do have the 2 Destructobots and our 1 soldier android here. So hopefully we'll be able to take care of that. I'm going to adjust my screen a little bit here so it gets a little bit bigger where I can see it. You know, we've got Black out there. We've got Robertson, and we've got Angus. So the question is our new defense going to work? Will they break through the first wall and run around like they're supposed to down to the bottom kind of killing area? Now, I guess technically last week, I think it was even last episode, we saw that they don't necessarily do that. The last raid actually just broke through the first wall and then broke through the second wall and came in through the top. So, and the problem is that the bottom there, the water, is so slow that when you figure out pathing time, it's faster to break through the wall than it is to walk down and come through an open area. So we may have to build a second or maybe even a third layer of wall there. We'll just have to find out. But for the moment, we'll find out. I'm not sure what that first big bang was there. Oh, maybe I had mortars. Maybe I had somebody on the mortar, and it was just a horrible, horrible miss. So clearly that's not going to do it, because I think I did put blackout on the mortar initially. Still haven't cleaned up any of the metal slag around the old geothermal from last time it got blown up. Yep, that's our mortar shells. And we helped that guy break through the wall probably. And he comes walking along and he's like, you know what? Just not feeling it. I think I'm going to come through the wall here. So at this point I have to figure out where people are going to go. And we're going to grab the 3 of them. And we'll just move them up here, put them behind some, I think behind some trees is all we did. Because I got to go somewhere. And we wait. I guess I could have sped some of this up, but I think we'll just keep the raids down at standard speed. I think that makes the most sense. Sometimes we may have some little bits like this, but that's okay. It builds the drama. For you guys anyway. I already know who lives and who dies. So here come our 2 big mechanoids in. And if you notice, now we have a siege down there on the bottom right. And yeah, let's go check out. So 2 raids at once. This one happens to be in binary 0, 0, which is a little bit better position to deal with this sort of stuff. We have 3 Destructobots and 3 kind of soldier androids in Red, Guillermo, and Lovegood, excuse me. There's the actress Lovegood, right? And Nyx as well, our combat engineer. So we've essentially got 7. 7. I held up the hand there. I was like, no, that's only 5. 7 combatants in that, plus the 3 mortars and better walls and traps. So I'm not as worried about that map. Binary 0, 0 can more or less take care of itself. This is the one that really takes some micromanagement. So at this point, I'm trying to figure out what to do with the animals, actually, I believe. Nope, no, not yet. Just letting those guys go so they don't stay drafted inside where their energy is going to run out because their solar panels, aren't good, or they won't walk over. So this guy's peeking around the corner, so we can rein in, and because we do have that area effect gun, it really just kind of, I think it's Blackout that has it. It just lays down covering fire over a big area, which is great when they're at a distance. It's not as good when they're in close. But what really seems to be killing them is that I think it's the storm cannon. Whatever Angus has is just absolutely going in there and crushing stuff. What do you think, Copper Dog? Yeah, we're done scratching. What do you think, baby? Shorty says, who's getting attention? All right. Back to the raid. So at this point, we've managed to kill that. Now, one of the things that was happening... Well, no, I don't think it's happened yet. We'll find out. I'll delay a little bit here. So we're back here to check binary 00 and see how the siege is going. We've got a couple minutes on the other side while we wait for the slow guys to figure out what they're doing. So we're gonna get everybody set up on their mortars, and now we're gonna go ahead and select the mortars and direct some traffic in here. So initially, I was thinking I'd go after a mortar, but it looks like they end up putting down more than one. So I decided just to let the mortars go. I think it was probably a mistake. But, you know, especially with these incendiary rounds, they create fire for people to deal with. So they've got a little home area now, essentially, as they build up some construction things. And we've lit that home area on fire, which does delay things for them. Some of them are going to work to just put out the fire and not start building stuff. Now, good for us, they dropped a bunch of steel and stuff to build all those sandbags and the mortars and stuff out of. So very nice, assuming we can hang on to all of that, of course. So yeah, you can see they're more busy putting out fire than they are building their siege engines of war. And some of them are just wandering around because they're not construction people. I'm just checking to see how long it's taken this because it seemed like it took forever for that last between rounds. So it says shell loaded, but then it says it can fire in, 28 seconds because it's not loaded. So I'm not really sure what happened. I'm not sure if he was changing his mind over what type of shell he wanted to use, but he went back to the incendiary. So now it's loaded again, and you can see somebody else got their shot off as well, and it was nowhere near where it needs to be. Probably aiming at one of these bottom people and just being off. That one at least was kind of close, but not really. And here comes in the third one, and again, way off. So not really thrilled with that. I decide I'm going to go ahead and grab all three mortars again. And now we'll actually direct the targeting we want. And we're just going to put it right down in the middle. That way, even if it drifts off a little bit, hopefully it hits something important. All right, we'll just put it in there. If nothing else, it'll light fires in the middle, which they have to put out. But it's more likely to hit these guys just wandering around as well, too. So now we're back here. We do have our big mechanoid here already, and nothing appears to be happening, which is interesting. The question is why? What is he doing or not doing? And you can see, maybe, he's shooting at that pill bug that's lying there. Not hitting it, but shooting at it. And he's out of range for our guys. So now I'm like, well, what am I going to do with the animals? So my capybara, for one, I missed him apparently. I left him unrestricted. So I've decided I'm going to move them into Animal Area 1. But Animal Area 1 has a section at the top of the map, above the building. So we want to get them south of that. So we're going to come in here, and eventually I'll select the right area. Maybe. There we go, Animal Area 1. And now I can come up here. I can clean this section off. And now hopefully, if that animal gets hit and or wakes up, it will move either inside or to the south side there of the building and out of the range of fire, which I'm hoping at this point will pull the mechanoid out from behind the wall. In the meantime, I've moved my guys up a little bit, seeing if we can get range on him while he's still shooting at the pill bug. And at least at this point, it doesn't appear that's the case. So I'm waiting. No, not happening. Let's come back here, check the siege. Well, that seems to be kind of stalemated at the moment. Pillbug's the only one living in danger. And you can see we're continuing to drop shells in here in the middle. Guys are still trying to put out the fire. This was a little more frantic than it looks. All right, so they've decided to heck with the sieging stuff. That's not happening. They're unable to get stuff up. They're just going to assault the fort, and we get another good shell in there on top of a couple guys. And they all start streaming through. Notice a few of them do have shield belts. So guns are not going to be terribly effective against them. I figure at this point, before I forget, it's probably a good idea to unforbid all this steel up here. Not as worried about the meals. You know, they may burn as it is, but it'd be nice to get, you know, the hard stuff anyway. Especially since at this point, I still think we need steel for all of those bridges and boardwalks. Back to binary 0-1. And the drama continues. The standoff. Will the pillbug live? Milk fullness, 62%. Blissfully sleeping, unaware of the mechanoid. Churning up the soil around it with his minigun. Unable to actually make anything happen. You can see we're out of shells. No unreserved shells for the steel mortars. So, that's fine. They're starting the attack anyway. We need to get everybody, well, we need to get enough people in here that we can fight them off as they come through. We do have the 4 auto guns as well, and the traps. Now it's just a matter of figuring out where I want people. He has the grenades, notice. So it's like, where do I want to put the guy with the grenades? Although I don't know that I noticed that he had grenades for this raid, to be honest. At a second raid that's not in this video, it's just, we ended up with a little too much video for this one. But you can look forward to that in the next episode. Spoiler, he lives. Where the grenades were more of an issue at the top of my mind. So trying to make sure that we got everybody to the point where they're not going to be walking into the kill zone. Although, remember, they'll walk through an unallowed area to get between 2 allowed areas. So it's not really a very good deal. What I probably need to do in the future is I'll need to forbid that gate that comes in from the mining area into the central kind of kill area. And that should keep people from walking through from one area to the next. They'll go through the gate up through the kitchen instead. So we're still trying to figure out what's going on down here. Not much going on. If you notice, next time we go down there, I did build some shelves inside there to get all of the guns and stuff off the ground and out of the storage. Storage was an issue. It is very full. We need to build a new storage area at some point. I was trying to figure out where the other mechanoid is. He's up there in the top left destroying walls just randomly. Not sure why, but I'm not going to complain. So, now that we know he's not anywhere close to being a threat, we're going to go ahead and move up here a little bit. Just kind of slide up here. We know that he at least has that much range. The hope is that we can get inside that range, or inside our range, and get some shots on, but maybe have him keep shooting at the pillbug. And you can see Angus is just deadly with that thing. Oh, that's Robertson has one. And he just decided to shoot at Angus. But yeah, Robertson just firing the shots in there, just one after the other. We've got the storm cannon and the kinetic rifles. Looks like it's the kinetic rifle by Robertson that just keeps getting the shots in. And then we fire in with the storm cannon. And that's that. Now it's a matter of trying to figure out how we're going to deal with this guy, because he doesn't show any signs of wanting to attack us. He's just destroying infrastructure. So we can go out the bottom gates and loop back up and around the inside of that future fortification. And we're back here just in time to watch the besiegers run through the traps. Those mortars are great for shutting down sieges. We do have the one guy running along the outside. Not sure where he's going. Maybe he's going to try to break in down there into the mining area. Here's the people in there working. There we go. One guy makes it through. Notice the next guy coming through has a shield belt. So he's not going to be as... We did break through that shield belt, though, fairly quickly. Meatloaf is like, you know what? Maybe I don't need to be here. I changed my mind. Let me go through the other gate. Sorry about that. Don't mind me. And that's that. That one, the siege is broken. They are fleeing. Yay! Victory is ours. And off they go. The snipers of force. So we can go ahead and unforbid all of this stuff. Make sure that we don't leave the medicine and the guns lying on the ground. Let's do the time warp again. Unrestrict everybody. Put your hands on your hips. Pull your knees in tight. But it's the pelvic thrust that really drives them insane. Let's do the time warp again. If you haven't seen Rocky Horror, Slickson, yet, go see it. I went and watched it on Amazon again the other night. And I saw Hedwig and the Angry Inch, which was I'd never seen before, oddly enough, which kind of surprised me. It was an excellent, excellent movie. Really, really good. Much darker than I expected. But good. So this guy's finally decided with human targets, or at least robot targets, he is done attacking walls. So we're going to spread people out because he will either have an auto gun or an inferno gun, and either way, it's going to hit groups of people. So we're much better off being with a little bit of separation. And we've got the inferno cannon comes in, hits Robertson, and actually got a little bit on Angus there. But he's able to just kind of slide over a little bit, and he'll be fine. Robertson needs to put out the fire. Thought maybe we need to separate a little bit more. So we'll move Blackout over. Blackout's the most important. So we want to make sure we keep Blackout alive. And there we go. She starts to rain in with that storm cannon. Angus and Robertson end up a little too close, but he doesn't get a shot off. Blackout continues to rain the shots in. That one's a little bit close. She's got to put out the fire around her a little bit. And at this point, Robertson just starts to, that kinetic rifle, he just starts to put in the rounds. Angus is going to get set up here on his rock, and he's going to do the same thing. Blackout sitting back in the back there with the storm cannon and just lays down the area effect. Angus has to run around, put out the flames a little bit. And look at that, Robertson just keeps the pressure up on him. And you just see the numbers ticking up there. 6th body ring is up to 8. 5th body ring has 8 shots in on it. And he's down. And that's it. Both sieges have been fought off there. Now it's just a matter of healing up and repairing the damage. So, go ahead, unrestrict everyone. Just run the zipper down there. Make sure we draft everybody and speed the game back up. Now, we had a number of people dead over here, so we're going to go ahead and build some additional graves, get those people buried. We also are out of room for our rocks. They're beginning to pile up in the mining area, so I just kind of dragged some new dumping areas out there. Now, we are getting attacked by an angry monkey there. Poor Chalmers is getting chased around by that. We're going to pull Blackout up here to the shore to try to fight off the angry monkey. This was a mistake because, as you remember, she has the storm cannon, but the other two are injured. So it was her nothing. But we did risk hitting Chalmers with the storm cannon, and I think he did get a little bit of injury from that. So we're going to go ahead and start building that second wall now because we've noticed that we need to. Clearly, they are not respecting our walls. Respect my authority and my wall, and they are not doing that. So, and the game crashes. We have this issue where it loses the graphics altogether. So I saved the game, I exited the game, we're loading back into the game. Load our save and see what happens. And eventually it's going to load. This is at 500% speed. This is how long this game takes to load. And that was it. it came up, it was still dead. It flashed through really, really fast. And yeah, this is the problem with doing it this way. Now I'm just sitting here floating and it's all darkness. Jello's already done her bit. Anyway, I had to go back to an autosave in the past and reload. It was not too old, couple minutes passed. Everything was over. So next episode, we will pick up there with the autosave. And thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to subscribe. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me know what you think about our plan for recording, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.